Hello everyone and welcome to another video tutorial. Today I'm going to cover foreshortening in perspective and with figures, but I'm going to just modify it slightly so that you can draw it on most angles, or the beginning of that sort of process. So imagine like a person sitting down or something like that. Like yesterday's tutorial or the whatever previous one you viewed, it will include the box method. So if we draw a head, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5, and then we're gonna go from here, basically just doing this sort of stuff. Like this, sorry, this, and the horizon line somewhere here. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So then the belly button's about here, like it normally is. Shoulders are about 1/3 of the way down. Hips, groin, knees, legs, feet, arms, hands, elbow is about here, elbow is about here. Okay, so that's the standard figure inside the box format. So we're going to use that and we're going to transform it slightly so it can fit our needs. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a sitting figure, and what we're going to do is we're going to start with the closest object, which will probably be the foot, and that will come out to about here as the largest box. And we're just going to draw a line back like we normally do, right? And we know that the waist or the hips are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up from there. So this would be the first, because that's the foot and slightly shorter. 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the fifth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you come straight up, across. And then from here, we're going to just use this last box that we drew here, and we're going to go straight up 1, 2, 3. So from here, 1. That will be the same width and height as this box here. 2 and 3. And then we draw lines back like this, just like before. And then you've got 3 boxes. So this will be the head, this will be the shoulders, this will be the belly button around about. So this will be the belly button. This will be the belly button, and then this will be the waist with the feet coming forward. So if we try that out, we can try it out, and if it doesn't work, we can just modify it as need be, but this should work. 1, 2, and then the shoulders, and then maybe the belly button's over here, so that's where the inside of that's where the curve is, that's where the chest is, roughly about here. And then the butt sits down in this quadrant here. And it might not be perfectly accurate for this one, but that's all right. That's not what we're just here to understand the concept from here. And then what we can do is we can cheat a little. We can draw the feet like this. And then we can draw lines back. And then we can just say about here is where the knee should be. And then this is where the other knee should be, roughly. If you want to make it clear, you can draw each line and each box in different colors to make it easier to understand. I'm just doing this because it's a little bit quicker and a little bit easier while I've got this format. And then from here, the hands can just come down to here. Sometimes they need to bend a little bit so it matches this proportion here, like this. like that. And then, so you've got the figure now sitting down, just like that. And you can use this in a variety of ways. You're basically just building the figure again, but out of boxes, and then it gives you an easier way to perceive how the perspective works by giving you like certain areas where certain limbs should be, just like using the original method we had here. You can use it to like for a punch, but that's a little bit more complicated and not something I really want to cover this time, but you can certainly try. Sometimes you don't have to follow this so strictly, like the lines. If you start to understand where things are roughly need to be, you can modify it and you can just do it like this. So if you're drawing a figure and you need to be a bit quicker than drawing these boxes, what you can do is you can just draw a box and then maybe another box roughly about here at the back. And that itself can be a guide. So you can start up here, and as long as it's 1, 2, 3 heads down, belly button, waist down here, thin part, up part, neck, shoulders, feet come nice and big, here, and then the knees about here. And then the hands come down to here. And then you've got the sitting figure. It might not be as accurate, but you can also play around with this a lot and have some fun with it and try doing other things with it and modifying it slightly. And sometimes extreme perspective can look really cool even if the anatomy isn't totally correct. But yeah, if there's one more thing, like if you're trying to do lying down figures, sometimes you also, so this is a little bit sidetracking, but sometimes there's perspectives where the model's kind of like lying down like this. I'm just doing a very, very rough. And sometimes the only way to do that is to actually draw the perspective line. So if there's anything that you can use, like a carpet or a towel you're lying on, you can basically just draw the towel first, or I'll start again in a different way. You can basically just draw the towel first. And if I had an example here, that would probably make sense. So draw the towel first, and then you can just add the figure as you go. I'm just going to draw a stick figure because that would be faster. Yeah? So all in all, practice this, and if it doesn't work for you exactly, you've got to find your own way just to modify it. But this is like a decent way, or a good way to guide yourself at the beginning. And then as you progress, you'll end up finding your own ways to find measurements that are a lot quicker for you or make more sense for you. I use boxes because I'm quite a logical, methodical person, sort of things. I like things in their shapes and nice and neat and fitting, but you don't have to do that. You can basically just map out roughly, this is the head, this is where the belly button is, this is where the hips are, and this is where the feet are going to be. And as long as you adhere to the perspective lines, then you'll be fine. You'll have a fine time. So thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, because I do love answering questions, and they're the only time I get to interact directly with you, the audience. So thank you for all for watching, and I'll see you next time.